Do y'all think the Jordan 11 is a cursed shoe? Let's look into it.
Check my footwork, check my footwork, check my footwork, check my footwork. You ain't got me.
Super Set King, aka Mr. Get Your Tank Top Ready. Come to you find people with a little bit of shoe question, like a little shoe history. Just want to talk to people a little bit, I know everybody's talking about current shoes, what's going on, but let's dig a little deep. I started thinking about this when the whole situation, the fiasco happened in Memphis. They were talking about how, they had like $800,000 worth of stuff that was stolen. And of course, they said that one of the shoes was the Jordan 11 cherries. And I thought to myself, I say, not again,
Looking live with a news helicopter shooting down at Richmond's Hilltop Mall, a gathering of people outside who were expecting to get the new Air Jordans, but there were some serious problems at malls all across Northern California. Police say at this particular mall, one man shot a gun into the air after a crowd got pretty tight. He has been taken.
News about people acting crazy about the Jordan 11. We saw it in 2000, I want to say 11, and then, we heard about people getting killed over them. So, it made me ask, is this a cursed shoe? No, it's not a cursed shoe. I'm going to go through and show a couple things, and I really think with this shoe, it was about timing. I think the fact that the shoe is a holiday release, that's what brings a lot of this. Everybody knows how people act around the holidays, A lot of people get antsy. A lot of people want things that they can't have, and they just refuse to, go without it. And that's kind of mixed up. But it also, some of this is on Nike. Nike's always had the practice of giving you limited numbers of shoes. So if you take that limited number of shoes, and then you got all these different generations of people wanting the shoe now, you asking for a disaster to happen. So just follow me a little bit as we talk about this right here. I was out of the shoe game for a little while. Of course, we all do it for a little while as ones who've been doing it, 20 plus years. And all of a sudden, I started looking at television and news. I say a stampede. At this time, I didn't see anybody saying that a Jordan 11 was coming out. And I was like, I'm watching this stampede everywhere. It's national news. It's like CBS, NBC. People tearing up the malls, everybody for this Jordan 11 Concord. And I'm like, whoa, and it made me think back to 2001. Now, I actually have, as you can see, the Bread 11 from 2001. Me and my best friend, we both used to work security at a club, and I told them they was coming out the next morning. We go to the mall. So, we sitting in the car for a couple hours, and they basically gave us little tickets, and we waited. It was probably, I think we was 4 and 5 in the line, and we got our shoes, and I was sitting there having a conversation with a guy. He was older, said that he had been buying joints since 1985. Keep in mind, this was in 2001. So finally, we get our shoes, and all of a sudden you see a whole lot of people just coming, bum rushing through. And my friend was like, what is this? I say, yep. I say, this what it is. I say, this how it is about these shoes. And it was a whole experience for him. And it made me think about when I was watching all those people in 2011 just bum rushing. I'm like, I should have saw this coming, because they was handing us tickets. It was first come, first serve. And we was at this mall, and it had to be at least at this point in the morning. I think they opened the doors at 5 a.m. for us to get them. It was 5 a.m. And it was already like 300 people. It was like 15 of us in the beginning, and then all of a sudden like 300 people just come bum rushing through. Of course, they want people going from store to store, but we actually got our shoe, and that was like my first W. And when no raffles or anything like that, you waited in line. So get to basically where we at now. That's why you saw what happened in 2011. It was basically building to that. You got all these generation of people that want these shoes at one time, and and they were still trying to use the old tricks they used to do. We're gonna make it be limited, and it's first come, first serve, and that's basically how you end up getting this situation that we got into. Actually, my childhood best friend, his son at the time, that was all he wanted for Christmas. So he sent his brother, to the mall in Atlanta, and what the guys did was a sneaky technique that I've seen before. They let everybody get in line, And then when it got close time for the actual store to open, boom, boom, shooting in the air. Everybody left, they walked up to the front. I mean, people do crazy things for shoes, but it just seemed like Jordan 11 just bring the worst out of people. All right, let's fast forward a couple years. And it was actually a teen, you know, it's a sad situation. A teen tried to rob someone and he ended up getting shot. The guy was actually carrying for the Legend Blues, you know, the Jordan 11 Legend Blue. The sad part about all that is that actual shoe showed up in outlets maybe 6 months later. And, you know, somebody lost their life over it. You know, people started acting kind of crazy about the Jordan 11s. And I was like, you know, how did we get to this point? It got to a point anyway where I kind of left them alone because it had a reputation of being the killer shoe. Like right now, if you get the Cherry 11, people gonna say you got the Memphis 11s. So it's kind of they got like a bad rep right now. You know, things have settled down for a while, but it seems like it's picking back up with that Jordan 11. Let's talk supply and demand. You know, piggybacking off what I said earlier, they have perfected the Jordan 11 as far as fakes go. I mean, I kind of, you know, I kind of lost favor of it. Jordan 11, the bread one, was like my number 2 shoe all time. The white cement is 3, but it was my number 2 shoe all time. And I lost that because they made so many fakes. They perfected the 11. That's why I say you got to ask sometimes, is this shoe cursed? Like, they perfected it. Like, if you wear an 11, somebody's going to question a Jordan 11. I mean, they got like trucks of them and shipments. You've seen people had counterfeit trucks of them and they just keep coming and keep coming. They're perfecting them. So, you know, people start losing their love for them after a while, older people like myself, because now these shoes that you had to wait 4-5 years on and, you know, you did everything you could to get them. Now it's like next person over here can get them. And you can tell it that people don't like, you know, the 11s as much as they used to. It go as crazy because look at this Cherry 11. I'm watching some of the people comments. People saying, I want the Cherry 12. You know, people always want what they can't have. We've had the discussion, you know, tenfolds over. But just letting you guys know, don't take me serious. There's no curse on the shoe. I think it was a mixture of bad timing because of the situation with Jordan Brand and Nike using old techniques, and time had changed. And that's why they ended up going to a raffle later. They wasn't giving us physical tickets before they was at that point. That's how they got to that point, and it was gonna happen. I could tell way back in 01 it was gonna happen. It just didn't happen to 10 years later. The violence that people have because people want things, that hasn't changed. Look at the news now. The situation with the young guy wanted to rob somebody, it happens all the time. I know a lot of people was nervous about wearing the Jordan 11s for like a 3-4 year stretch, but right now, you know, things, like I say, seem to be back to normal, and bow, here comes Memphis. But, you know, leave your comments, tell me what you think. Do you think I'm on to some, or you feel like it's bad timing, like I said? You know, hit that like button. And I'm going to probably do stuff like this all the time. Just talk a little bit about the history of shoes and things that we've done in the shoe culture, because the truth be told, I don't talk about it, but I've been part of this culture since like 1995. You know, strong. You know, I really started, if you want to count it, in 88, but I would say strong in 1995 when I was able to, you know, buy my own and got a couple shoes here and there still from that time. But like I say, leave your comments, but always remember over here, we keep the body tight, feet right.